All right. I thought I'd make this video in regards to what's something called pre-cut masking tape. So especially when you're working on a lot of these resin kits, like I'm working on this MG Providence resin kit, there's a lot of color separation on the resin parts that, because they are not separated parts, you need to mask them to actually paint them. But because the details are just so detailed or many, that if you actually attempt to cut your own masking tape, it will take a long time. And especially if you are new to this, especially like me, this will definitely help a lot. I won't say that it's for beginner. This, you will have to have some time being able to do normal painting first before attempting even a resin kit. But anyway, let's get into it. So I got this off AliExpress. This is, I don't know what the brand is. It's called New Pro, I think. And then it says for the Providence Gundam Pro pre-cut masking. So inside you get a manual, scribble a lot. You can see that there is a lot of places where they teach you or give you ideas in terms of where you mask, and you actually need to refer to the original picture on the manual to determine the color separation and how to put it. So they'll tell you, okay, first this part goes here. You need to fix it here, but you need to firstly plan how you paint first, because some of them you need to paint and then you mask them and then you paint on top. Some of them you actually mask and then you paint on this side. So this is some of the things that you need to figure out, whether you're actually painting and then masking on top, or you paint first and then mask like this. Sorry, paint first and then mask, like you paint this blue, mask this, and then you have to paint this part white, for example. So anyway, it comes in a simple manual that you need to kind of like figure out. Let's see here. And inside, usually there is a guide that tells you, for example, inside it tells you, so for example, there is a few sheets. So this is the main sheet, which I'll show you later on, and then it then segregates into section A, B, and C, for example, and then sections 1A, 1, 2, A2, A3, A4, etc. Right? So let me show you. So for example, in this particular, for the body, there is 3 sheets. A, you can see I've used it. B, and then C, right? Like so. Now, then you need to look at the manual, and it tells you, for example, this part is A01. So you pick up sheet A, and then you go to 1. And then if it's A2, then you go to A2 and then look for the part. Right? So that's the way you actually work on using a pre-masking tape. Excuse me. So let me show you how I go about it, and as I'm working on this part. So this is a part that's like a funnel, a protrusion like here from the backpack, and then it can be quite confusing. You really need to look at this and then look at the part and compare. So I'm working on this part, which is this one here, and it tells you, so these portions here goes on, sorry, these portions here go on to here, this portion here goes on here. So you kind of need to like look for the part, right? And then lift it and then stick it on. So I'm working on this part, so I'm actually halfway on this. So you look for, like say I'm looking for this part, it's, I don't know whether you can see, but it's here. I take a hobby knife and just slowly remove it with my fingers as well, place it on the part that you know that you want to mask, and then put it on. So you can see here I've already pre-painted it. So this one is you paint it and then you mask, so then you can spray another layer of color and prevent these colors from being sprayed onto, right? So that's the whole idea of masking, to ensure that there you have different color separations for different parts of the kit. Yeah, so again, this is my first time using it, but I'll recommend that you use this if you're new, and especially to resin kits. There are some of these that are actually for normal kits as well, so that you can, especially like some HG kits where color separation is not so good, you want to paint them and mask them. Rather than doing it, you can actually get this pre-masking tape to help you. Yeah, Some of them, if you can see, I'm not sure you can see, very, very small. So you really need to be precise in using a sharp hobby knife to actually lift the sticker, or the masking sticker. Look for the part. This is the part that's quite challenging, and then slowly push it in or place it into the correct order. And I mean, having this masking is one thing. You also need to know how to actually spray so that there is no overspray that still goes through this masking tape. That usually it should not, and I'm still learning. I have a lot of mistakes, but yeah, it is a good extra thing to get, especially when you have lots and lots of color separation that you need to do when you're doing your airbrushing and painting. This saves tons of time. So imagine if I don't have this, then I will have to place masking tape, slowly cut these shapes out one by one, to be able to mask this thing. Even placing these stickers takes tons of time, right? So you can imagine if you actually had to manually cut this. The pros do it for sure. Those pro paint airbrush Gunpla airbrush guys, they will cut it themselves. They're so used to it, and I'm very new to this. To be honest, I really don't like masking. It's too time consuming. You really need to be very, very patient and precise to do it. So a pre-cut masking set will definitely help. I mean, they don't have it for all kits, but resin kits generally, some companies do have them, and you just got to search for them online and get them. Not that cheap, because it's like, quite a niche product, if you like. But you still can search and get it, right? And with what I'm doing, it really helps a lot. Although, like I said earlier, it does still take some of your time masking, especially when you have many different places to mask. For me, like I was saying earlier, the issue I have is actually determining the colors. When we should do mask first. That's my challenge, and I'm slowly learning towards it. But yeah, getting there, hopefully. So like you can see, this part is fully masked up. Yeah, sometimes you may use a sharp tweezer like that to help as well, but whichever you prefer. So this is another part. For example, I've already masked up and I already sprayed and then masked it, right? But you can see how much details you need. So I'd like to show you another. This is a piece that has been masked and sprayed. You can see there's 3 different colors here: a light gray, dark gray, and then a blue. So you can imagine you have to mask it like 3 times to be able to get this color out there like this. So as I said, slowly learning to use this masking tape. Takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of precision and time to really get it right. Okay, hopefully this video has been useful, and for those of you who are trying to get into resins, this is something that I would recommend. It saves a lot of time, and helps a lot. All right, thanks guys.